Happy days. It is time for some FACEIT League. We are headed into week 4 here in season 7, our off-season season, bridging the gap between year 25 and 26. And, well, we are getting into our final week before we head into a bit of a mid-season break before that new year happened. And not only that, but we're introducing a new hero here today into FACEIT League. We've got Vendetta is now available. Yay! That's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Yeah, it's the fact that we were able to implement a new hero mid-season, in the middle of the season, is huge from a technological aspect. There was concerns we'd have to wait till playoffs to see the new hero, which would be sometime in February. No, none of that. They were able to get it fixed. They're able to get her implemented. We're going to get Vendetta in here immediately. You know, it could be some crazy shakeups. I had to let my hair down for it. You know, it was that kind of day. It's feeling like that kind of a day. Let's get into it. Let's take a look. We're going to start with your standings. We got 7-1 taking on MomBuysMyClothes here today. Both of these teams are coming in at 5-1, currently sitting at 4th and 5th respectively. The top of this bracket's really starting to shape up. You've got our two teams today fighting for a spot in that very tippity top of the bracket. You've got MomBuysMyClothes are your advanced champions coming in from last season and have already put up one hell of an entry into their expert division debut. Coming in 5-1, you've got wins over Veltot, Ukot, Glizzy Gobblers as well. That's a big one. Your only loss is to NGZ. NGZ we have very highly rated in the power rankings as well. This is no shame in this. MBMC took a map off of them as well, right? They did not, they did not get skunked. They did not get skunked-o'd. Fighting with the best of the best in their first season here in Expert Division. I'm telling you, that just doesn't happen. There's so many teams in Expert Division, and you're getting to a level where they're all pretty damn good. You got to have some chops on you just to make it into Expert, right? So from the very bottom of Expert, that just kind of making it in out of Advanced, up into top 8 and playoff contenders, right? There's usually a couple tier breaks in there. They enter an open division in season 5. They got 50, win a perfect 20-0 through that, including through playoffs, winning the championship. They turn around and go into advance. They almost did the same exact thing, right? They lost one series in 2 seasons of play. Neither of those were in playoffs, by the way. So, as you can deduce, they are also the champions. They're in advanced division. So, this MomBuysMyClothes squad has literally had nothing but first place results. And now are, putting up one heck of a season. They've only dropped their second series in the history of the team in 3 seasons. And that, again, was to NGZ, was to one of our top teams here in Expert Division. So, an incredible, explosive year here for this squad. But they will be up against it today. 7-1 also have just been nasty. And this is a team with a lot of firepower on it. Between Reox and Reddy in the DPS, and then Killa and Oliver in the backline. Killa is, lives up to the name, is one of the most lethal flex supports I think we have in the entire division. And then, of course, you've got Ego leading the way. Ego or Patata Time, they'll be using a streamer tag as well. It's Hegoi. I've heard it pronounced, it's to my Texas tongue and Texas ear, it sounds more like Ego than anything else, so that's what I'm going with. Their only loss was a reverse sweep with Sync in the very opening season. Sync is just a weird kind of one-trick team that plays weird stuff in weird ways. And so hitting Sync very first game out of the season, I think it just caught him off guard. It was a little bit unlucky for 7-1 to catch them very first thing where nobody had seen them in this division before, right? But they've managed to win everything since, including Glizzy Gobblers, including NGZ. The only team to beat MBMC is the squad that 7-1 has already beat. We will get 7-1 is the home team. They've chosen Nepal and banned Echo here to kick things off. Let's go. And we're going to get a Symmetra ban from MBMC. We are wasting no time. I love it. These teams are ready. I'm ready. And Vendetta. Once again, Vendetta is very much now just in the mix. Turns out we are going to get actually a Ramatra ban. That was the issue. We're ready. Let's get into week 4. Spoiler. No Vendetta on the battlefield. Show me some Overwatch.
4, 3,
We are getting sim rollouts. Do we stick with this? No, they are going to hit scans. It's going to be the dress Zarya here in the Zarya Reaper. That's an OC reference. An odd pick here in the Fora. This is not one you usually see on this map. And really, Daze is the only one who can deal with this. Just a lot of front load of damage that NKZ could then follow up on. And that's exactly what we see here. Zarya takes an enormous amount of poke. Great follow-up there from MBNC. Man, and this squad looking coordinated in their unusual composition. It almost felt like the Pharah was the engage tool. Was the crowbar. And then NKZ moved into the weak spot that the crowbar pried open. The wrecking ball, if you would. Broke it open. How's audio? I feel like this is too loud. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Wait. Okay. Why does that always reset? How come that never stays? I feel like it was just screaming at us. I may have turned it down a little too much. No, that should be good. Oh, because he's in trouble now. Oh, Reddy steals your health pack. In case he has had enough. So we saw the adjustments. You know, we come out of the Zarya Tracer, the Zarya Reaper. They and 721 move over into this Diva Tracer look. We immediately get the change in case he's all right. We're gonna have to make some adjustments ourselves. We'll go into the ball, go out of the ball into the Zar. It's gonna be Kitsu's traded on Elephant's side to start this next fight. Where's Captive's side? You know, Captive Sun's looking for the setup on this barrage. Soundbarrier's already in from Yellows. And Sun's on the backside of the fight. Oh, playing all the way on the other side. I think he was trying to pull some aggro, but we'll end up with another fight win here out of 7-2-1. So after an explosive opening in that first fight, they're out of MVC and looking very, very solid. It has been all 7-2-1 sets. Now Reox with the OC, but Reddy's already down. Reox looking to answer. Not able to find the equalizer. Captain Sun's going to drop in a barrage. Captain Sun is a streamer tag. Is this Oliver? I believe this is Oliver, right? Let's see. We have... Oh, actually, no. Oliver's 7-2-1. This is Echo? No. 30. Not use streamer tag challenge. Mole. We'll figure it out later. I don't care. I'm tired of trying. I'm missing action trying to figure out people's names. Turn off streamer tags in officials challenge. Hello, gamers. AKZ is down. Will not build up towards that ultimate. And 7-2-1 will hold on here through the opening round. I just saw that picture. Trash Panda. That's amazing.
2. Capture the objective.
Okay, so NKZ and MomBuysMyClothes are going to stick with the Zarya. Captain Sun pulls out another interesting pick here. We're going to go for the Mei instead of the Pharah here. Still atypical, particularly for this composition. You might struggle for both flank control and being able to kind of juggle in off the point. Talked about Killer's lethality there at the top of the series. Gets the opening pick, start things off a village. Reddy's able to 5-1 as well. So with that +2, we're going to get a first cap here out of 7-2-1. Oh, and a very split re-engage, it seems. Sorry about that. I went to go after Reddy's Paw, and they blinked right as I hit the button, so it just threw the camera into a weird spot. So far, so good for 7-2-1. Really has been since that first fight, really. It has felt like they have been in complete control. 2 deaths perfectly even down the board. As Killer comes up with another one. My goodness. So Killer on the carry is, I mean, top lethality. I mean, honestly, streamer mode is, when you need streamer mode, you need streamer mode. So, like, I get it as having it, is it being a necessity for, like, a safety thing, but not in officials. Like, anyway, my job's already hard enough with, which, by the way, props to FACEIT, as 7-2-1 does end up at least in DPS order, like, in the exact order I would put him to. So there is at least that, which is amazing. OC in play, Reddy's already planted one. And you're able to just move up and hold. There's the Zarya. Everyone just blocks people and looks who it is anyway. Oh, fair. That is the beaten play from Oliver. And so Zarya, back up, grab it, and try to run back in here. Whoop. Captain said, does end up returning here on the Zarya. Had enough of the May. It was like, we got to get into a comfort pick. Is kind of how that feels. At a 0.99, try to just melt through the Zarya, but still, my goodness. Strike Commander stays alive. 7-2-1, hold on, take map 1. Which Strike Commander is Egoy. Let's see, who's our... Oh, it's Pingu. Pingayu. Pingayu. Maybe it's Pingayu. P-I-N-G-E-U. Was the Flex DPS player. So Unamolja was our Sojourn, was our hit scan there for MBMC. But the Farah May was Pingayu. So our King's pick here out of MBMC. And this is our first season with MomBuysMyClothes in Expert Division, right? We did get them on for their Advanced Grand Finals. Forgive me if I'm still learning their names and their roles and stuff. It was a Winton ban out of them heading into Kings. Let's take a look at some stats. What stands out in the stats? I mean, really, 7-2-1 stayed on top after that initial team fight. That's kind of what we're seeing. Very, very even across the board. Huge assists from the back line. Killa doing 43, nearly 400 damage from your Curie. Just outstanding. All around, great map out of 7-2-1. It looked exceptional. Exceptional teamwork. Not much more I can say than that. Far bad going into Kings. No surprise. It's one of Far's best maps, actually. And clearly, Pinjayu does like the Far when we saw them go back into that hero as a comfort pick kind of at the end of Village there. This is certainly the way that looks, so feels like smart work. Feels like everybody kind of doing their homework here. And remember, MomBuysMyClothes have only lost 2 series in the franchise history. One in their first 2 seasons in FACEIT League, and then 1 here so far this series. So overall, here, let's do some quick math on this, because it's actually kind of, while we're loading, I'm just wanting to see if we can get a total on that. Just real quick. Because it was what, 20-0, 20-1, 19-1. So 20-0, so 39-1. They are 44-2. all time coming into this match. Drop their first map here. Oh, I gotta get their point on the board. Oh, and I didn't reset Overwatch, which would reset our... Hey. My scoreboard didn't update. Sorry. I'll try to get our margins fixed for next map, too. I just completely forgot about that. Yeah, 44-2 all time. As I was just saying, drop that first map. We'll immediately find a opening D-Mech onto Igor. Oh, an Unamolja. This is a slick little move up to the high ground. We'll make sure that there will be no remake available. Little patience, I appreciate the follow. I appreciate it. No, Winton. I mean, it should be Winton. What? No, Winton. Oliver might go. Let us see the Oliver support. Has everything they need right now. We're supporting Reox on this upper flank in a 3-2 split for the defense. Ready at 1 health. Was literal 1 health before the disruptor shot will put him back. They needed to get that photon barrier up to help protect against this grab, but the opening pick smartly placed, well tracked and well executed out of MBMC. I think they knew that photon barrier would really be the biggest thing to thwart the grab. It was easy peasy layup of a grab. Get your Gumbas in. MBMC looking good to tie up the series, but very, very early on here in their attack of King's Row. Photon Barrier is used for the re-engage. Kitsu Rush will go on both sides of it. But we are going to get MBMC try to retreat back, but look how well placed that Photon Barrier was for both stages of that fight. So the disengage, they just could not escape that, so there was no shooting back, no retaliation available. A perfectly placed 200 IQ Photon Barrier. They're out already. That was awesome. Grab in. The Sunbarrier lands. Yellows is played way back in the safe spot. You do lose in KC, but it is the only loss. We're going to amp speed out. Oh, you're not getting away. You go ahead and kill it. No shot there letting you get out that easy. Oh, and Killa goes up to hunt down Pinjayu. Ready in days. Find the openers. The defense getting aggressive, getting very aggressive. And managed to cut down what was, a near 5-minute time bank to under 2:30 here. You will have a Kitsu out of Killa. I was looking at this. I was trying to see if Uno Moija is, if that's like a Spanish pronunciation, what that might mean. That would be one. It couldn't be one of these. Anyway, I have to go look it up. But hey, anyway, OC's gonna fly too. Here from Uno. It would also change the pronunciation of the way I was looking at that. Oh, huge grab! And Oliver was able to hide inside the bookstore, but the stickies there just making around the corner from Pinjayo. Then KZ locks everybody up. An enormous grab to finish that fight. And if that's a Spanish pronunciation, it should be like un el moija? Be un el moija? You pronounce every syllable. They don't do like OI as one. Anyway.
The hits just keep coming. Resistance crushed. Let's get on with it.
We will have to do some sleuthing between maps. I will avoid sleuthing right now and try to stay focused because we have a grab and play. And NKZ is getting it done. I'm assuming is getting mowed down. It's Egoy getting it done. And one of these said, like, oh, if I come to Stockholm, God, I wish I'd been able to afford the Stockholm trip this year. Next year, I'm gonna make out to Stockholm. Yeah, and I'm gonna like get y'all to tell me exactly how to like. I mean, we're face to face. Get y'all to tell me to pronounce your names right. We're gonna get it right. I'm gonna come home with a whole like dossier of how to pronounce everybody's names. That's what we're gonna do. All right, friends, that's what we're gonna do. It's a duplicate here out of Pidgeot. Into the Zarya. With their back up to the corner. Sound barrier and play from yellows, both of which are kind of fading here behind the photon barrier OC combo out of Reox and Ready. But the response from the grab is good. Photon barrier, well, excuse me, the sound barrier is there, but Reox is already down, and now Unelm has their own overclock into play. You're able to find kill it with that. Oliver will be in the respawn queue as well. You end up with an NBMC fight win, rounding the final corner with a minute to go. Grab in play here from Egoy. No, excuse me, that was NKZ's grab. That was NKZ's grab. It was just the wrong color. That's Egoy's grab on the point, holding NKZ. But you've got a Kitsu in play here from NBMC, and they are going to cap with time. Oh, no. Oh, no. Daze finds an insane opener. How does that happen? Another language? No. Mr. Skunk only speaks one language, unfortunately. I should know Spanish. It's like there's no reason I shouldn't know Spanish. Just living in Texas, just being in so many Spanish speakers here, and being able to communicate with people is one of the most important things in life. I truly believe that. Yeah. Anyway, I want to learn Spanish and Korean. Actually, I was studying Korean for a while. I knew basic Korean as a kid just because I took a lot of martial arts, so I could, I could count and basic language stuff, left and right, and martial arts terms. Yeah. I know side kick and back kick and front kick in Korean. Pangeo 70% towards this opening ultimate, and you've got Unelm also, which would probably just be Moiha, because it would other would be 1v something, a v1. So should I'll have to look it up. We'll have to look it up. That's just passing knowledge of Spanish. Yeah. That's just I took some in high school, and I have lived in Texas my whole life. I remember, its pronunciation is universal. I do remember that from high school. That Spanish pronunciation is like, as far as anytime you see a letter, it always has the same pronunciation no matter what. There's dialect differences between like Latin Spanish and European Spanish, but I think that's true of romantic languages in general. You know, I'm not as confident in French, but I think that may be true of French as well. Oh, this has just been an absolute unstoppable force here out of 7-2-1. The duplicate was the only thing that was able to find play. Now we're going to get dueling overclocks here to try to stop the snowball at the very end of King's Row. And Moiha wins an important duel, actually. That's a very important duel to win over Reox. One of the most deadly hit scans we have here in Expert Division. Woo! It goes low, but it still holds the front line. Doesn't fall back. Importantly, not giving up that space. Sound barrier's now in play on Oliver with a grab out of this defense. Yellows is going to respond, but Pinjayu dies just before the beat hits. Still. Ooh. NKZ able to find a mean pick and get ready out of this fight. And Nigoy's lost their engagement tool, rounding a difficult corner with an entrenched MBMC. NKZ also charged, and not going to give up this spot easily. Yeah, you can see immediately running to take this space back. Jumps up to the high ground, denies ready as they return to the fight. Was trying to stage for a Death Blossom. Watch for the grab or the Kitsu to get thrown in with it. Giving up this high ground is just not an option for the defensive MBNC. 7-2-1 charges forward. There's ready with the bubble, with the Kitsu, still gets destroyed, but the grab layered on top is what they should have been really worried about. Killa is the nail in the coffin, finding the picks in the grab. How about some Oliver Pop? Here to take it home. OC out of Reox. Also, you know, could be very helpful in getting this cap with an enormous time bank. Headshot on NKZ will cap it. Conclude the attack with 3:52 left in the bank. French is a dog shit language to learn. Don't do it. I was told by a Japanese girl that I'm better off learning Korean because the alphabet is smaller. Interesting. I just think it'd be super handy in this industry. Like, if I'm genuinely trying to make a profession of being in esports, being able to speak Korean is like huge boon. I also just, I grew up around a lot of Korean friends, and I've always wanted to go. I've always had an appreciation and for the country, and I've never gotten to go. And anyway, yeah. I think esports just seems like an easy boot on top of that, like you know. All right. Nearly 4-minute time bank after the 30 seconds added back on, 25 seconds, I think it was. We are getting the Zarya Reaper once again here out of 7-2-1. The Penji Ueku is kind of a bit of an X factor. You're able to take some high ground as we're seeing. Oh, we're just going to turn around and put pressure back on Ekoi. It's a dangerous moment. KZ and Eagle were both low. Everybody from 721 rushes to hotel to bail out their tank. Now they're going to have to kind of hold here. This has opened up a little bit of room for Moeha and Ping Jayu to find some space. Oh, but they don't take enough of it. They get stuck around statue. Where I think they really needed to get some high ground off of that once the rotation came through from the defense. You really needed to take some of this high ground space. MEMC don't recognize the vulnerability in time, and that window closed in a matter of seconds. And this defense is looking to hold. 0% given over. Oh, that was ready. I heard Shadow stepping across. Both teams matching comps this time around. I don't know what 721 did in the system, but I can't get over the fact that they're in actual order. I mean, perfect order. Down to hit scan and flex support where I'd have them. Well, oh, that's Moeha just right in your face. Moeha just like appeared out of nowhere. Moeha actually, but just appeared out of nowhere. Like, what was that? I mean, you end up trading out for Reox here, and you've got Egoid down. So, why isn't anybody on the cart? You're Lucio. I don't know if Yellow was dead. I think Yellow must have been dead. Ah, unfortunate. Shambali Monastery will be the pick. Reaper band out. Map 2 stats. There you go, friends. Let's get that Reaper band plugged in while I'm thinking about it. It is also a Finnish word meaning dreamer. Oh, it's Finnish. It's Finnish. It means dreamer. It's Finnish. That's the other thing I wanted to look at was where these players are from. Onelmaja? Onelmaja. That was a completely wrong language. It's Finnish. Rad. We learned something, friends. We learned something. Let's see. This was a Zarya band. Sorry we're late to the party here for Shambali. All right, let's get into it. I owe you a band again. That was a Zarya band out of 721. Neilio, appreciate you being here. Song request? No, we have copyright-free music here, Melon City. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate the follow, that is. And I appreciate the sentiment. But we have to use copyright-free music here because we do post these. These do get archived and edited and recorded, put on my YouTube. We're going to get a Rabbinic Flocks out of NKZ. We've already had first point capped here. Sound barrier in from yellows. A bit of a flip of the map has happened. Everybody from 721 just kind of huddled up on the point. They're getting squeezed from 2 tanks as Pinjayo's duplicated the Diva. Oh, you're heavy. Egoi low. Yeah, no shot you get back in mech from that one. Look like even the iframes from coming out of the dupe protected Pinjayo from the self-destruct. Interesting timing on that. We have had a bit of a clap back here. Oliver's grabbed one, but cannot escape the wrath of Pinjayo. The remaining 2 players of MBMC will keep this cart moving. Wrong button. I was trying to hit NKZ's pop, and I fat-fingered. Me sitting here taking a sip of tea. Reox with a pair off of the overclock, though. Make it a triple. But no Moya swinging right hand side. See, that was close. That was a lot closer than I have been all day. Looking at Flux and Duper close, but not quite available. I think they're playing into Killer's Kitsu. And there's the disengage. You see the amp out of yellows. Oh, looking for the boop. Cheeky hide behind. Wait to see if they can get the boop. But now we're gonna get the re-engage there with the Kitsu. Sound barrier in play out of 721, and my mouse is just going to do funny things. Thank you for that. We do have the beat re-engage. And with NKZ low, yeah, about to say, wouldn't surprise me. Just go ahead and drop this. Photon barrier out of ready to try to hold this corner. Let's see if MEMC can muscle through. They've got to push through this corner somehow. We're going to wait for the photon barrier to fade. There's Pinjayo. Moving through the duplicate, but just, eats all kinds of blue lasers. A couple from some turrets. There's a railgun out of Reox. And that's all the ultimates expended. 4 thrown in from MBMC, and they have not been able to buy an inch. Now back in the neutral, you've got Egoi. He's got some extra health to play with effective HP. Reddy's going to get aggressive. Or even just feign aggression with the teleport. This is all been effective in whittling the clock down to 35 seconds. Now defense is coming up with ultimates. Nemoya is close, but still 10% behind. Reox is going to find Pingu with a beautiful shot. Nemoya does answer. Ready is down. OC in play. 13 seconds to go. You got Eagle in low, but not low enough. They're able to back around the corner, stay in mech. Kitsune rush now to help hold the line here for the 7-2-1 defense. And Oliver's already got a great pick in the mix. And KZ low on reinforcements. But has a Flux to play with. Can't find anybody. Oka 1 did get one, but Reox has got the benefits of the shielding. Plenty of sounds from Oliver to go around. Without NKZ, even with a Kitsu in play, it's going to be tough for MBMC to get this over the line. Pinjayo with a far would be kind of the only hope. Not able to win enough directs in the world. The defense hangs on. Photon barrier to prevent any last-second heroics. Completing the second point hole. Really, after I say, hey, yeah, we just play copyright-free music here, like, you're still trying to play stuff? Why are you trying to come in and play stuff on us? This is so bizarre. That is utterly bizarre. I don't like it. No, sir. I don't like it. Get your butt ass out of my chat. All right. Hey, certainly wouldn't be the first full hold, or I mean, you even have a little bit of point B to give up, but this car's getting away from this defense. That's not ideal. Now we've forced the chase. It's been a late response out of NBMC. Drop down from NKZ, and you do have the teleporter out of Pinjayu. They're holding the right-hand side. A little bit of a tour. We'll wrap around. They're out of 7-2-1. Ready. Got teleporter on point. We're going to drop in, focus all of our attention on NKZ. NKZ drops form, puts up the Nemesis block. Hands up, my friend. Don't drop your guard. Oh. Has to stay in tow. Has to fight for his cart. I mean, this is a real tug-of-war push and pull on this cart right now. Now you're going to have Onemliop moves on that far side, try to find an angle, but is forced off by the Diva. NKZ gets pushed into the corner, and the Kitsu will claim control of that cart, dragging it every centimeter they can around this corner, where then 7-2-1 should be able to stabilize. This is forced a rotation. And BMC have to go to this final corner to match. Onemliop's got, OC has come and gone. Fallen by the wayside with no value. Teleport to the high ground. Reox is going to pop one of their own. Spending a couple shots to get rid of the teleporter. Not really any value out of that either. We did see the defense come up with a pick through that. An important one on to ready, as a matter of fact. NKZ is going to drop the Annihilation. Manages to leech some health off of both Killa and Reox, and a great hold here out of MBMC with under 2 minutes remaining. Photon barrier, sound barrier to work with. You see the amp speed rush up to the high ground. Photon barrier in. Oh, low NKZ. He's got the Nemesis up and trying to back around the corner. Sound barrier just in time there from Yellows to save their tank. Pinjayu has the response, and we've got a lot of particles in play. Igwe is low. I mean, just flying around. Yellow's able to find that kill. How does Igwe find that kill? But Pinjayu immediately melts him as they tried to use the self-destruct. That teleporter actually takes Pinjayu up to the high ground, while NKZ is anchoring the corner. But nobody has given chase here, looking for an exit pick with 30 seconds remaining. Kitsu in from Killa. One last hold here to try to start the reverse sweep for BMC. Onemliop can't find much. Gets one shot on to Igwe. They head up top, and that's all they're going to settle for on that OC. NKZ's going to get run down. Elko just a touch behind for their own Kitsune rush. May just hold on to it at this point. Use it for a retake here. 2:30 added to the clock. Another opportunity for 7-2-1 to finish the series here on Shambali. As if this series wasn't finished enough. Hi-oh! Alright. Sorry. Y'all were looking a little sleep. I just want to make sure y'all still paying attention. All right, just making sure y'all are still paying attention. Reox with a great opening pick. Osei to work with. Okay, you push NKZ back. Let's see how much resources do they have to spend to retake this point. We're gonna get the just Nemesis and the Kitsu, but the drop down with the Annihilation is a bold move. No, you got Killa. I don't know if it's gonna be enough. You will also get Oliver, and I think that will tilt it over the edge, as Igor is not allowed to get back in mech, and in a very high-risk, aggressive play out of NKZ in this NBMC defense will pay off, it seems. Now, there's still a race to get back to this car, one that 721 have got a little bit of an edge on. Reox is going to pop the OC. Can't quite make it around the corner to find good targets. Throw a few shots down towards the Ramatra's direction, but they have 4 armor to spare. Pinjay with a photon barrier, but you're looking at a lot of ults out of 721 to try to finish off this series. It's going to be the Kitsu thrown in first. There's the photon barrier in response out of the defense. Oliver does get the beat down. We're going to just run down the tank. The beat lands from yellows, but NKZ doesn't get it. Looked like they were just booped behind the photon barrier, and NKZ will not benefit from that, and that might just be the beginning of the end of the series. 721 hands NBMC their first 3-0, potentially the history of the organization. We know their other loss this season was not a 3-0. It's certainly their first 3-0 of the season. Potentially in the history of NBMC's 3 seasons existence here in FACEIT League. But an exceptional performance out of 721. Honestly, a really, really good performance out of NBMC too. 721 do look outstanding. No argument there. Really great showing from them here today. But NBMC look very competitive and look like they do belong in this top 8 squad of things, right? I don't know. Ooh, that was a good match. And 721 prove they belong in that top 8 as well. Validating our placement for them in these power rankings. GG's all around. GG's boomed. All right, let's get serious for what we're looking at here. We're looking at Reox at 14, almost 15k in that map. Oof, NKZ was putting out an enormous amount of damage. I mean, it's to be expected. I mean, you're looking at a Ramasha versus a Diva here, but still, wow. You know, I was talking about, like, you know, these maps did feel very close. I mean, looking at the team fights here, we're looking at 4 to 7 deaths for 721, 4 to 6 deaths down the board for NBMC. Very, very even as far as the team fight wins. Same thing. If you go back to map 2, 7 to 9 deaths for 721. We're ranging at 6 to 10 there with Echo, with your fewest deaths in the lobby there from map 2. So, I mean, an extremely close match. Now, Nepal was a little bit more one-sided. I mean, he came out swinging. They won first fight with this weird Pharah Wrecking Ball comp where they kind of engaged with Pinjayu's Pharah, and then we saw NKZ follow up on the splash damage and the initial poke damage and go find kills. Is a really cool kind of take on the composition, and it worked for him for like the first fight, and then immediately 7-2-1 swapped, won the next fights and won the map and carried that through. But at the end of the day, very, very close series. Really good showing out of NBMC. They will fall to 5-2 here on the season as they take their 3rd loss in the history of the org. Moving to 44-3 all time. I'm very curious. Was this actually the org's first 0-3? Yes, it was. So their only loss prior to this season was a 1-3 to Dream Eaters as well. So this is the first time in the history of the org, the history of NBMC and this team, they have ever been 3-0'd in 3 seasons of play. Pretty impressive. Also an impressive showing from 721. This is, I rate this win. Let's see. Who do we think should be your player of the match here today? I mean, Reox is always impressive. Always puts up hella numbers. You go with 28 and 7 is your damage leader there in map 2. Always love to give it to the back line. We're giving it to Oliver. Oliver's your player of the match. Oliver's your player of the match. Let's go. Let's go. MVP Oliver. With that kind of team effort, you know what? Your main support's holding it down. Your main support's holding it down. That's great shot calling. That's great ult tracking. We actually saw it. If your main support is actually doing your ult tracking, we saw that in play. You know, picking off very specific targets. Yeah. So we'll give it to Oliver. We'll give it to Oliver here today. There you go.